I would like to welcome up onto stage then for our next presentation, Michael Yang from Rockwell, who's going to spend some time talking to us about his point of view on accelerating automation in the factory environment. Do you want to take a position on the stage? Thank you.
All right. Okay. Since we have a small audience, I think I'll make my presentation more conversational. I actually prepared a lot of notes, but now I'm going to talk to you. Okay. My name is Michael Yang. I'm the business partner manager for Rockwell Automation Asia Pacific. So I think in this morning, you have heard a lot about the trends and challenges in manufacturing, in industry. I think you also have heard about Cisco's connected factory solutions, right? So I'm going to actually expand the topic a little bit more and really talk about the opportunities of IoT in industrial manufacturing. And how do we take on the opportunities, right? And the vision is good, and opportunity sounds fantastic. How do we go from a vision to reality, right? I will share with you the journey we have taken and some success stories from our customers. I'll also share with you actually the 5-stage execution model we call the manufacturing maturity model to show you how we can go stage by stage along the maturity curve to implement your your IoT or connected enterprise solutions, right? So before that I start, let me know actually whom I'm speaking to. Can I have a show of hands if you are from end users, from factories or utility companies? Okay. But most, I understand actually most of you are customers, invited customers, right? All right, okay. All right, I think you might have seen these slides. This is some research done by Cisco to show that the great opportunity of Internet of Things or Internet of Everything. The value actually at stake is really a big number, $14 trillion, right? Of the $14 trillion, 27% of this number actually fall into manufacturing. So that's a Internet of Things for industry, right? So that's a big number, close to $4 trillion. So big number, big opportunities. How do we realize it? How do we, bring this value, bring this realization to our own enterprise, right? So when we talk about the value, we have to talk about the drivers behind the value, right? What drives this value? By looking at the drivers, we will be able to see how we can work on the drivers and realize the value. So this shows actually there are 5 main drivers for the realization of the value. So number 1, of course, is assets utilization. When you talk about assets, you really talk about the staff in your enterprise, on your factory floors, in your warehouse, right? So those are the assets. How do you connect them, right? When you have better assets utilization, what really means actually it reduces the cost for you. So it could be enterprise assets, your IT systems, your capital expenses in your plants. So that actually hit your general corporate expenses, or could be your plant assets, right? And it hit actually your unit cost, your material, and your energy consumptions, right? So another aspect of the value realization is the people aspect. the employee productivities. How do you make your employee more collaborative, therefore more productive? Supply chain is another aspect, right? The process aspect. How do you actually make your supply chain seamlessly connected so as to reduce your cost as well, and reduce your waste and reduce your cost as well. Customer experience. You have heard a lot of things about IoT. IoT actually not only bring you productivities, it also can impact your business model, right? Customer experience can be in the aspect of more customized products and services for your customers. How to do that? Or it could be, in consumer products. I think we have some of you come from consumer industries. Could be traceability of medicines or food. We have a lot of safety worries about medicine food, so traceability. So how do you do that? And even innovation, which really actually underline all the aspects. How do you innovate to cut short your time to market, right? How do you innovate to enrich your product offerings? How do you innovate to enable your technology change and your transformation? So those are the factors that we need to look carefully to realize actually the value, right? So the connected enterprise, you have learned a lot of IoT and IoE, right? The connected enterprise is Rockwell Automation's vision, and we want to enable our customers to realize actually the benefits of IoT, to help you transform your enterprise, to help you for your value creation. So the connected enterprise, when you have achieved, what does it mean? We really have connected your isolated assets, isolated process, isolated operations. It also means that you have enabled your people, empowered your people to collaborate, and they can collaborate and make decisions based on real-time data, make real-time decisions. So the bottom line of connected enterprise enabled by IoT solutions is really to help you transform your operations, help you transform your enterprise, increase your productivity, increase your competitiveness in the global marketplace, right? So for industrial customers, we know that these four main drivers matters to you most, right? Fast time to market, lower total cost of ownership, improved assets utilization, as well as how to better manage your enterprise risks. So the promise of connected enterprise is to help you, take on a challenge of all the drivers, right? Help you use IoT solutions to transform your enterprise. So the last couple of years, we have seen more and more IT and OT convergence, right? And what you see on the factory floor, the industrial things, the machines, the process, and also your workers, employees working on the factory floor, they produce data, they produce events data, and those real-time data. How this data are more and more connected to your enterprise systems, which is your business system, like your ERP, financials, HR systems. And this is made possible through this common secure network infrastructure, standard, unmodified internet standard. This is where we collaborate with Cisco to develop, to build, test this reference architecture for the plant-wide Ethernet, which connect from your shop floor to your top floor, right? From OT to IT. So this is very important trend, as well as this is a very important aspect, the foundation of the connected enterprise, which is built on the IT and OT convergence. So some of you, I know that you are actually our customers, Rockwell Automation's customers. Rockwell Automation actually has been providing solutions for the past decades to our customers, industrial customers. We have a whole portfolio of products to enable your factories or enable your mine. If you happen to be a mining operation or actually utility company. From actually the bottom line, from the bottom of the chart, which is intelligent assets like PLCs, low voltage drives and the middle voltage drives, sensors, software starters, and all this actually connect to our up level through our multidisciplined control and information architecture. All this actually is connected through the plant-wide Ethernet network with the switches, wireless network, and some servers. Again, we have collaborated a lot with Cisco on this network infrastructure. So factory floor are further connected to information, plant information systems. So this is where actually you see that your plant data, you collect the data and you have, you can analyze your data and you can make your operational decisions. So at this level, actually, plant managers, operators, maintenance engineers, they can utilize the data, come from the factory floor, come from all the sensors and devices, controllers. They can make real-time decisions, right? And at this level is further connected to enterprise information systems to enable enterprise really to optimize their business goals, to achieve the business goals, whether it's quality, productivity, or profitability. That's a level of goals you set in enterprise level. So connecting enterprise, we really, for Rockwell Automation, connecting enterprise, we have all the enabling solutions for you to achieve that. So far, everything sounds great. You got a vision, you see the opportunities, your big numbers, and you believe it, right? After you have seen all the good news from IoT, IoE, the connecting enterprise, you say how, it's good. You see the opportunity. How do we get there? So we have developed this maturity model, 5-stage maturity model, or you can say execution model, right? Your execution at the various stage of the maturity. Once you execute, your system across enterprise become more mature. So that's a model we have developed. So the 5-stage bring you from assessment to how do you got to have a baseline, right? To how do you upgrade your network, your existing investments, to actually how to define and extract the data, your working data capital. From there, then you can actually turn the data into information. Then you can do the analytics and make the data used for your operations. So your people can collaborate by, informed by the information reserve. So this is a maturity model. We are talking to people. We talk to people to help them discover the journey. Sometimes people say, okay, this is great, but this is so daunting. We don't know where to start, especially if you talk about entire enterprise. We got 20 over 30 over plants across in the region. How do we get it started? So this is a model. I'm going to elaborate a little bit on each stage because we have the same questions from our people. How do we go about it? So I think this is good to share with you. So the first stage, of course, assessment. So there's no surprise. If you want to get to a future state, you have to see what you have, your baseline, right? You have to see whether your network is up to speed. You know, your network is up to speed. You may have disconnected network and disparate network, and they have never been connected. They have never talked to each other. Okay, how about your security? Before you close your gates and your factory is supposed to be secured. Now you want your factories to be connected together. So you expose yourself to threats, security threats. So how do you assess them? And about your data. I'm sure you have a lot of data, but they may be hidden somewhere. They may be stranded somewhere. How do you define which data you think that they will be useful? You get access to them and deliver them to people, to the people who need the data. And how about technologies? So in the past few years, we have heard a lot of new stuff, right? Which in the past few years, you probably have never heard before, right? So you have heard now more and more about the cloud, more about virtualization, right? And so on and so forth. So how do you want to evaluate these technologies and try to leverage on these technologies, right? So this is a first assessment, and also you need to, by doing the assessment, you need to discuss a future state. You need to come out a blueprint with your stakeholders. I'm sure you have a lot of stakeholders, and sometimes they don't talk to each other. But by working on blueprint, you start to talk to them. That's how you can handle with the collaboration between your departments and also to address convergence. So stage 2, now you have done your assessment. You need to secure and upgrade, whether it's your automation or your IT network. So this is where actually, again, I want to mention this. This is, again, we have done this reference architecture with Cisco, which has been tested in terms of performance, in terms of reliability. And you may have heard that this document is actually for the plant-wide Ethernet IP reference architecture is documented with 800 pages. Of course, you don't need to read the 800 pages, but it's a guidebook. It's a reference book. So your engineers, your network engineers, your design engineers, or architect can make reference to it. Those reference architecture has been tested, verified in terms of reliability and performance. So when you use a common unified network, and it's a managed network, what happens is that you can monitor your network in real time, and that really actually monitor your risks real time, and also you reduce your downtime, right? For this aspect, actually, Rockwell Automation also has developed our own competencies. So we have the network solutions and a security organization which help our customers to assess their network and build their help them to harmonize the network. And we also have collaborated with Cisco to train our customers for the network competencies. See, network staff, network competency is not a one-off project. It has to be competency resides inside your organization. So you got to invest into this. So in this stage, you really actually try to upgrade. You got to upgrade and get your network to speed first of all, right? So third stage is really about your data. Now, you really have to look into data. What are those data you want to make use of them, right? They may be hidden somewhere, stranded somewhere. They may give you the information. So this is stage you assess your data, define your data, and they figure out how do you want to share the data with different users, right? And also here is where you can apply mobility. You want to get the data to the people, to the right people, in the right time, with the right context, right? So this stage, that's what you do. And this is stage which turn your data into information. So before it's data. But when you put data together with context, so you turn them into information which you can make a lot of decisions. That's where actually you can really try to optimize your operations. Try to outperform your competitors, right? So analytics and the operational decision making. This is where actually now you can understand your data in real time, because at this time you really actually can have a system which supports you with real-time data and real-time decision. So that's where your productivity and your operational efficiency become reality. And your people also respond to the changes fast because, again, it's a real time and it's a time with context, contextualize the data, right? The last stage, you come to collaboration. So when you have data, when you are equipped with data, people tend to be informed, employees tend to collaborate well. So at this stage, your whole enterprise really actually have the readiness and become very responsive, which really help you employee innovate. So that's the stage you achieve your efficiency in all the aspects, whether it's actually a supply chain, right? You can now get the supplies to where they're supposed to be, and also you can control your budget. When we say control your budget, at this stage you can really do it at the production level, per batch of your production, because now you know the direct cost of each batch of production. You know the material cost, energy cost, water, utility, all these consumptions. So you can now factor them into your direct cost, right? And now you also can enable people to remote access to real-time data and make decisions. So again, at this stage, the enterprise become very matured in your connected enterprise journey. So that's where you actually reap the benefits. That's where you see the actually not only in your operation but in your corporate profitabilities, you get improved. Here's some data actually from Mesa Research. Just shows that the companies which are already get ahead of the competitors on the connected enterprise journey, which they have higher on time for the new product launch, and they can lower actually the cycle and change over time and make the production more flexible, and the bottom line is really actually the improve in all the aspects in quality, flexible operations. And all this eventually goes into enterprise profitability. You can say here 16% increase in annual financial improvements. And that is 2 times better than average. That is incredible. 16% annually for the financial performance, right? So that's what the Carnegie Enterprise has promised. This kind of benefits, this kind of results it will deliver. Actually, this is a research done by MESA Research, right? Okay, now let me give you. Now I have talked a lot about in big picture the opportunities and also the maturity model. How do we go about it? Let me show you 3 examples, right? So examples are louder, right? This is first is our own company, Rockwell Automation. If you don't know us, we are the largest dedicated automation and manufacturing information solutions company. And we operate in 80 countries. We do have actually over 20 plants globally. And the number of SKU we have is close to 400,000. Of course, we don't produce all the parts. Some of parts are produced by partners, but still we produce a lot of parts. Our average order actually is per order is about 200 parts, and we have a very wide range, complex range of products, which the average product life is 20 years. That's for industrial products. You're probably in your IT space, you have never heard about 20 years life for your server or for your OS. But for industrial products, yes, we have average product life is 20 years. Meaning is really actually complex mix. So we have to manage through our supply chain, through our production, and through we call the continuation engineering. So products which are as old as 20 years, you have to worry about some of the chips. The chip in semiconductor industry, they change a lot. They have a few batches now become yesterday. So you have to keep changing your product design to keep up. So it's quite complicated. So how did we do it? And we not only did the transformation, we actually used a lot of our solutions to transform our own plants and operations. So the core part actually is manufacturing operation management solutions, which actually connect the factory floors to the enterprise level. So you can see that the smart assets, that's where actually data are produced and connected. And this goes up to our multidiscipline control systems, which are called logics, which is a integrated architecture, connect to all our parts, whether they are smart sensors or PLCs or drive systems. They can all actually connect very easily to the logics platform. While at the manufacturing operations management, we have the software called the Factory Talk Production Center, which which is a manufacturing execution system, manage order, scheduling, materials. So all this actually is connected upwards through the network infrastructure, which I have talked about. A lot about it. It's through common industrial protocol, which is based on standard Ethernet. Goes up at the factory floor, our operational people, plant managers, operational people, engineers are empowered by Factory Talk Vantage Point. That's a mobility. That's a dashboard, a scoreboard, or mobility solution, which we can send the information to our users, real-time information, right? And that goes further and to cloud platform. We do use cloud platform, our own private cloud, as well as we use Microsoft cloud platform to actually help us to scale computing as well as connect our plants globally. So this is what we have done to our own enterprise, connected from the factory floors, from devices to the IT. So what do we have achieved? What is the effects from this transformation? So this is our scorecards, right? You can see that the implementation of the solutions as well as the transformation really help us to even change our plant behavior. Our operations change the behavior because they are empowered now by the information, by the solutions. So our inventory days, our CapEx expenditure, those measures are all improved. And they also we achieved a faster time to market in terms of delivery, fill rates from middle 80s to 96%. That's a big change. And also in terms of lead time, we reduced lead time by 50%. That must be the improvement in supply chain, as well as the seamless connection between supply chain and our own production. And we have achieved better customer service in terms of time to want. When customer wants an order, wants a product, how much we can fulfill their orders. So we have also increased a lot, and of course quality. That's a quite a big reduction in the ppm, parts per million, sort of quality measures. But the bottom line is actually the improvement of 4 to 5% per annum of our productivity. Productivity really actually goes right into our corporate profitability. So that's very significant. All right. And here is an example from our customer, Toyota. Toyota actually have a couple of plants, and this is one of the plants in Kentucky in the United States, right? So basically, Toyota has implemented a manufacturing operation system which to track historic data as well as real-time data. They have a paint operation. Paint operation may have defect. So how do you discover actually the root cause? How do you timely address those defects? So they have actually track of data, the operating parameters like oven temperature, EPA data, so to avoid the defects. And for this set of operation, for this set of data, actually, Toyota qualified the benefits is more than actually $200,000 a year. So that's one of the examples how they use data, real-time data, to address product quality and defect. This is another example of from our customer, Kings Hawaiian. So they actually use our solutions, our connected enterprise solutions, to connect their factories in multi locations in America. They use our integrated control and information systems. The results of them actually is really amazing. They were able to start a new plants in a very short time, in 11 months, much shorter time than they expected, and they have real time to control the quality. So they have the bread baked in different factories, but they want quality consistency, right? I'm not going to talk too much about this case, but I will play a video and let you hear directly from our customers. And the story actually is quite interesting.
My mother and my father developed the recipe back on the Big Island. I used to go delivering with my father. As I got older, then he started letting us play in the bakery. And that's my first experience touching the dough and also tasting the product.
The Tyra family has been baking their signature Hawaiian sweetbread products since the 1950s. As the bread's popularity has grown, so have their operations. Over the years, they've gone from a 30,000 square foot bakery to a 150,000 square foot production facility, and their amazing growth has continued.
In 2003, we also built a new plant in Torrance, California. We actually run 2 lines there, 12,000 pounds an hour. Since then, our production grew and our demands grew, so that's why we decided to come out here in Atlanta and open a new facility.
So as a family-owned business, the owners were able to walk out of their office, you know, pinch the dough, see the dough, smell the dough, feel the dough.
We look at the texture of the product, the quality of the product, and we have certain specifications.
To help maintain the quality of the King's Hawaiian product, the California team wanted to have the ability to remotely access production.
I wanted a centralized control system. So we needed components out in the plant floor that would eventually get us to a more centralized control design.
We want to keep everybody on the same platform. That's our company motto. Everything is all Allen Bradley.
We were able to go ahead and identify standards for the process control equipment as far as HMIs, PLCs, methods of programming, standards of how HMI screens are developed.
King's Hawaiian and Bachelor Controls standardized on Rockwell Automation integrated architecture to leverage the benefits of the Logix control platform.
Because we have more technology as far as what we get from Allen Bradley, and we can see it on site at our other facility, we're there in real time.
We knew that we wanted to connect all the OEMs to a central SCADA where we could then overlay Historian and SQL and Vantage Point.
We have a central point of development for all the screens in a plant, and as a screen is developed, that screen is then sent out to every HMI that's attached to it.
The functional spec was done ahead of time, so everybody was developing under the same standards. From there, we could reuse a lot of the objects, and the software allows us to really create screens very quickly and to be able to use objects on multiple screens.
The BCI system has allowed us to have almost a plug-and-play situation here.
By having these standards out to the vendors, when we got their equipment here, we were able to bring it all together much more quickly.
When we do factory acceptance testing, the customer can actually see what their screen's going to look like and how it will react when they're actually in production.
The learning curve was minimized because of how user-friendly the HMIs are.
With 11 different OEMs, scalability was important. Integrated architecture provided a cost-effective, Logix-based solution.
Today, I can see the technology has changed a lot. Everything has gotten a lot smaller, a lot faster, and has more capability.
We really looked at what we were doing, and some of the people in packaging, for example, are really very simple systems, so we were able to scale them down to a compact Logix and a PanelView Plus.
The more information and the more data points we can collect, the better decisions we can make.
What we're trying to do here is ultimately look to move the needle. If you can move it a 0.5 percentage point or 1 percentage point with respect to OEE, that 1 percentage point is a lot of finished product out the door.
The Vantage Point tool will allow King's Hawaiian to use the Historian data that's been logged.
So we want to see a trending value of an oven temperature, then that's being generated right out of the Historian.
And the system allows us to identify the time before a piece of equipment is starting to fail.
We spent a great deal of time up front detailing the expectations, what's it going to look like in the end. So when we get ready to execute, the execution is just follow the roadmap. And at the end, we've always gotten the results that we've expected to get.
This is the 11th production line I've started, and without a doubt, this was the most successful of the 11 production lines.
I have to admit, I do sleep a lot better knowing that the equipment is running and I have all the technology there today. It makes it so much simpler for me to operate and for me to actually see what's going on.
All right, isn't that a fantastic story? So there is a lot of points about you know, the connectivities across plants, the quality, consistency, you know, the readiness of because they are the same Ethernet IP we use, the easiness of you plug OEM machines, the machines into the process line, and also mention actually the share and collaboration of engineering, right? You just now you see is when they define something, when they actually improve something, they apply to multi-plants because you have the unified architecture, so they can be easily applied to different plants. So that's really a great story. All right, I think that's all I have. So I have go through a little bit about the opportunity and about you know, the drivers behind it and the 5-stage maturity model. How do we reach there? How do we go about it? And I share with you the journey of our own company, Rockwell Automation, and also some customer stories. So I really appreciate speaking to you, and I'll be around. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to you know, discuss with you. Thank you.